With defenseman Isaac Phillips. Isaac, it's been a couple days now to process the season that was for you and the Rockford IceHogs, but when you look back, it seemed like the message I'm hearing is how special of a group this was, and unfortunate that the season had to end as much as it did.
Yeah, a really good group. It doesn't come around often where everyone gets along, everyone hangs out. You could go to dinner with anybody, so we had a really good time together, and obviously we wish it could have went on, but we'll have a lot of the same group back, and we'll be excited to play again in October.
And that's kind of the nice part, too, is from last year's shortened season to this full year of 72 games plus playoffs, and then in the next year, it's the same core group as you mentioned. How much of that are you looking forward to, just because it just seems like it's already a strong group, and I had imagined it's going to galvanize even further moving forward?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're all really excited. I know we're excited to go home, take 3 weeks, and just chill, do nothing. And then you're going to be itching to get back on the ice and training again and get better. And then when September comes around, you're even more flying to get into training camp. So we're really excited. We got a great group again. So nothing but happy thoughts.
What do you feel like was the turning point for this team in the regular season? At the beginning, it felt like it was a lot of different guys, a little bit of time last year together, but from different backgrounds, getting your feet wet, a lot of changes in and around the locker room, in and around the organization. Where do you feel like the team hit its stride, and at what point do you feel like it all clicked together?
Yeah, I think, just after Christmas break there, we spent most of the first half just figuring out the season. We're all young and figuring out the AHL and learning how to play that pro style, and then it all kind of clicked. We started winning some games, and we thought wow, we could do this, and we can make the playoffs, and we could win a series or two. So it's just all of us, playing games and getting that pro experience and then figuring it out together, and it was a really fun moment for all of us throughout the whole year.
How did you figure it out individually? You got a little bit of time last year with the IceHogs, coming right out of junior, so I'd imagine that was a pretty wide-eyed experience. But like you said, 72 games, playing games almost every other night, that's a different animal. How do you feel like you approached, especially in the first half of the year, trying to figure it all out?
Yeah, we're all good hockey players. I think it's just the compete level. The rest of it will figure itself out. You've been playing the game since you were 5 years old, so as long as you compete hard, you can always make that pass or make that play, shoot the puck. So just play hard every game, every shift. So that was my mindset.
From last year to this year, where do you feel like your game really progressed? What kind of a comfortability level did you have to see success? Because it came in waves for you too, and even some time to get to shine with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing was just playing hard defense, learning not to do too much, calming my game down a bit, being efficient with the puck, moving it, being a full pro-style defenseman, and I look to keep building on that and just be that reliable you could put out in any situation.
How do you feel like the repetitions helped you out too? Because you played a lot of hockey down the stretch, 15 games in 30 days in the month of April alone, out there with Ian Mitchell a good chunk of time, playing some big minutes too. I was looking at some of the time on ice. My eyes were pretty wide with some of those numbers that you guys were putting up. How do you feel like that helped your growth, just being able to polish out and smooth over some of those areas of your game?
Yeah, it was awesome. Obviously we put some trust in the coaches and they put us out there, and it's fun, playing in those moments. You want to be out there. And you want to shut down the other team's top lines, and it just goes back to competing. You want to get that puck, you want to get it out. You just work harder than the other player, and yeah, it was really good for me, round out my game and show that I can battle in the D zone and just be a good shutdown defenseman, and provide a little bit of offense when I can.
Last year, you got your first taste of pro hockey. All the other firsts came with it, games, goals, etc. And then advancing in your contracts as well to signing with the Chicago Blackhawks this year. You get the repetition. You get some time with the Blackhawks too, including your NHL debut. How much does that make that hunger, that fire burn even more going into this offseason?
Yeah, that was really special. I obviously didn't expect it to come so quick and so fast, just getting drafted like a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever it was. But yeah, it was really special for me, and that taste, it's awesome. It's a feeling like no other. You want to be in that league. You want to play against the best players in the world. So I'm really excited for the summer, and I'm going to work really, really hard. So I want to be in that league, and I'm going to show them.
Well, and with that said, too, what is it going to take for you to make that next jump now that you got basically a season and a half in your back pocket ready to go in terms of professional experience? Where do you feel like you need to address your game or on ice habits or off ice habits to improve to get that full-time spot?
Yeah, I think for me, bigger, faster, stronger, being hard in the D zone, just putting on weight, but continuing to keep my speed up. And then the biggest thing for me, I can do skills all summer and dangle around pucks, but that's not my style. So I think for me, it's just working on being efficient, walking the blue line, don't handle the puck, pass it, or coming around a net, no stick handle, pass it up. Like tape-to-tape passes, and that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to help me.
With that said, too, have you found it that the game maybe have started to slow down for you a little bit? Your vision of the game slowed down? Because I know as rookies sometimes it's high pace, high anxiety, high action. But then as you have talked about, work through the contest and work through the seasons, the game just kind of slows down, comes naturally to you. Do you feel like your vision of the ice, your role in that vision has improved this year?
Yeah, I think when you're first learning, it's coming at you really fast, and you're like, even the start of the season, you haven't played in a while, it's coming at you fast. You're like, oh my God, I can't see who's open. But then you start to see the forecheck patterns and how they're coming, and you start to read teams, and you play the Wolves 12 times. You figure out what type of players or forwards are. So it does slow down, and to make the right read and make the right pass, and it just comes. You don't even think about it. So.
All work and no play isn't a great summer, Isaak Phillips. You're heading back home, a chance to catch up with family and friends. It was great to see your family as often as we did. What a whirlwind from the start of the season, right, with COVID protocols to where we are now. But for you, I mean, how's the summer going to be like? It's a little bit different than the last couple summers we've had.
Yeah, I think it's important to take time off, let the body and mind just rest and recover, and then, you're going to be itching to start moving around again, start working out. And I think work out for a week, still stay off the ice, and then, start texting my power skating guys. All the groups will be buzzing for sure, 3-on-3, 5-on-5. But obviously still enjoy it. I think I'm going to Florida with my girlfriend, go to Disney. Yeah. Haven't done that since I was 10, but, have some fun there, be a kid. And then, you'll be ready again in August. And
you gonna get Mickey ears?
I will not.
And to close out, you talked about how tight-knit of a group this is. I imagine a lot of you guys are going to stay in touch in the off-season. When it comes to off-season preparations, how much does that play into your mind, knowing that you got a great group of guys, whether here with the IceHogs, Blackhawks training camp, or so forth, but also you're all competitors, especially that back line. There's so many guys that you were paired up with this year that you're neck and neck with in terms of fighting for spots in the National Hockey League. How much does that weigh on your mind and your drive?
Yeah, I know we're all best friends, and we're all fighting for the same NHL spot, so it's a good situation. I mean, I know Reggie, Mitchie, Callie, Bodes, they're all going to be working hard this summer, so I'm going to be working harder.